Hello and welcome to quiz class. I'm your host Ellen, and today we have 100 questions on trivia. Trivia for seniors today. Let's take a look at our quiz class awards, and you can let us know how you rank in the comments at the end, along with the answer to the bonus question. Who invented the telephone? Thomas Edison, Guglielmo Marconi, or Alexander Graham Bell? Alexander Graham Bell. What was Elvis Presley's first hit song? Heartbreak Hotel, Jailhouse Rock, or Hound Dog? Heartbreak Hotel. Which sport is associated with the Ryder Cup? Tennis, rugby, or golf? Golf. Which river flows through London? Severn, Tyne, or Thames? Thames. Which soda brand's 1992 promotional contest wrongly advertised a fighter jet prize? Dr. Pepper, Coca-Cola, or Pepsi? Pepsi. Which British band performed on The Ed Sullivan Show in 1964 and launched the British invasion? The Rolling Stones, The Who, or The Beatles? The Beatles. What was the name of the world's first commercial jet airliner? Concorde, de Havilland Comet, or Boeing 707? De Havilland Comet. Which American TV show featured the Fonz? Laverne and Shirley, The Brady Bunch, or Happy Days? Happy Days. What is a baby goat called? Calf, kid, or foal? Kid. What was the first music video played on MTV in 1981? Billie Jean, Every Breath You Take, or Video Killed the Radio Star? Video Killed the Radio Star. Which bird can fly backwards? Sparrow, hummingbird, or falcon? Hummingbird. Who was the British Prime Minister when Queen Elizabeth II was crowned in 1953? Anthony Eden, Clement Attlee, or Winston Churchill? Winston Churchill. What was the name of the ship that carried the Pilgrims to America in 1620? The Santa Maria, the Mayflower, or HMS Victory? The Mayflower. Which event started World War I? the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, the sinking of the Lusitania, or the bombing of Pearl Harbor? The assassination of Franz Ferdinand. What was the first Disney animated feature film? Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Cinderella, or Bambi? Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. What is the smallest country in the world? Vatican City, Liechtenstein, or Monaco? Vatican City. In what year was the first email sent? 1965, 1982, or 1971? 1971. What 1970s movie featured John Travolta dancing in a white suit? Flashdance, Saturday Night Fever, or Dirty Dancing? Saturday Night Fever. What color were Dorothy's slippers in The Wizard of Oz? Blue, ruby red, or white? Ruby red. What was the price of McDonald's hamburger in the 1950s? 15 cents, 25 cents, or 5 cents? 15 cents. What candy was advertised with the slogan, "Melts in your mouth, not in your hands"? Skittles, M&Ms, or Reese's? M&Ms. What was the most popular car color in the 1950s? Turquoise, black, or red? Turquoise. Who has won the most Wimbledon men's singles titles? Roger Federer, Bjorn Borg, or Novak Djokovic? Roger Federer. What is the only country to have played in every FIFA World Cup since it began? England, Argentina, or Brazil? Brazil. What television show featured the famous theme song Where Everybody Knows Your Name? The Golden Girls, Cheers, or Friends? Cheers. What event is known as the shot heard round the world? The Cuban Missile Crisis, the assassination of JFK, or the start of the American Revolution? The start of the American Revolution. What was the name of the town in the Andy Griffith Show? Mayberry, Hooterville, or Dodge City? Mayberry. Which of these was a popular American snack at drive-in movie theaters in the 1960s? Jiffy Pop, corn dogs, or popcorn? Popcorn. Which of these was a common 1950s Christmas gift for boys? A record player, a chemistry set, or a surfboard? A chemistry set. Which British car was advertised as being small enough to fit through a doorway? Ford Escort, Mini Cooper, or Austin Allegro? Mini Cooper. What was the first new program to be broadcast on BBC television after World War II? The Archers, The Weather Report, or Muffin the Mule? Muffin the Mule. What famous event was broadcast live on TV in 1969? The moon landing, the Super Bowl, or JFK's inauguration? The moon landing. Which of these toys used static electricity to make hair stand up? Woolly Willy, Slinky, or Yo-Yo? Woolly Willy. What did people commonly use to rewind cassette tapes? A screwdriver, a paperclip, or a pencil? A pencil. What event is remembered as the day music died? The Beatles' breakup, Elvis Presley's last concert, or the 1959 plane crash that killed Buddy Holly, Ritchie Valens, and the Big Bopper? The plane crash. What beauty product was sometimes made from beet juice during wartime shortages? Foundation, eyeliner, or lipstick? Lipstick. Why were movie theaters called picture palaces in the 1920s? The first movies were filmed in castles, they looked like grand European theaters, or the seats had gold trim. They looked like grand European theaters. What was one of the first items ever sold on TV in the 1940s? A wristwatch, a vacuum cleaner, or a rocking chair? A wristwatch. What was commonly used instead of hairspray in the 1940s and early 1950s? Perfume, candle wax, or sugar water? Sugar water. Why did many kitchens in the 1950s have pastel-colored appliances? The colors kept food fresher, it was a post-war trend for cheerful homes, or they were cheaper than white appliances. It was a post-war trend for cheerful homes. Which 1985 sneaker became iconic after they were banned by the NBA? Adidas Superstar, Air Jordan 1, or Converse All-Star? Air Jordan 1. Which 1960s toy was originally marketed as a way to help people lose weight? Hula hoop, jump rope, or pogo stick? The hula hoop. What 1950s dance craze was banned in some schools for being too wild? The twist, the jitterbug, or the cha-cha? The jitterbug. What was the most popular car in Britain during the 1960s? Morris Minor, Ford Cortina, or Austin Healey? The Ford Cortina. Who starred as Rhett Butler in Gone with the Wind, 1939? Cary Grant, Clark Gable, or Spencer Tracy? Clark Gable. What soft drink was originally created as a medicinal tonic? Coca-Cola, Sprite, or Pepsi? Coca-Cola. What classic 1970s film was almost canceled because the shark robot kept breaking down? The Poseidon Adventure, Jaws, or Close Encounters of the Third Kind? Jaws. What color were tennis balls originally before they were switched to yellow for better visibility? Black, white, or brown? White. Which famous book started as bedtime stories a father told his daughters? Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, Peter Pan, or Anne of Green Gables? Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Question 50. What toy was banned from some schools in the 1990s for causing too many classroom distractions? Pokemon cards, Tagamochis, or slap bracelets? Tagamochis. Which exercise machine became common in homes during the 1980s? The Nordic Track, the ThighMaster, or the Pelotron? The Nordic Track. Who was the first woman to win a marathon medal at the Olympics of 1984? Wilma Rudolph, Joan Benoit Samuelson, or Gret Waits? Joan Benoit Samuelson. What music genre was called the devil's music by some parents in the 1950s? Country, rock and roll, or jazz? Rock and roll. What fruit was banned from public transportation in Singapore for its strong smell? Mango, durian, or guava? The durian. In the 1960s, what was a common way to make a long-distance phone call? Using a phone card, dialing directly, or through an operator? Through an operator. What 1950s event led to stricter environmental regulations in London? The Great Smog of 1952, the Thames River oil spill, or a coal mine explosion? The Great Smog of 1952. Which candy company introduced the Reese's Pieces in 1978? Hershey's, Cadbury, or Mars? Hershey's. What U.S. product was banned by the Soviet Union for being a symbol of capitalism? Blue jeans, Pringles, or bubblegum? Blue jeans. What was the common name for a small radio that could fit in your pocket? Gramophone, cassette player, or transistor radio? Transistor radio. What 1960 medical device helped people with heart conditions? The pacemaker, the first defibrillator, or the artificial heart? The pacemaker. Which surprising material was first used for contact lenses in the 1950s? Glass, plexiglass, or rubber? Plexiglass. Which 1980s toy became one of the best-selling dolls of all time despite initial rejection by toy companies? Polly Pocket, Cabbage Patch Kids, or Barbie? Cabbage Patch Kids. Which 1980s video game caused a global shortage of home gaming consoles due to its popularity? Pac-Man, Super Mario Bros., or The Legend of Zelda? Super Mario Bros. Which classic novel was inspired by the author's nightmares about a monster? Frankenstein, Dracula, or The Invisible Man? Frankenstein. What sports event was first broadcast in color in 1967? Wimbledon, the Olympic Games, or the Super Bowl? The Super Bowl. What animal was trained by the CIA in the 1960s to eavesdrop on Soviet conversations? A pigeon, a cat, or a monkey? A cat. Which song was banned from some radio stations in the 1960s for being too suggestive? Louie Louie, Great Balls of Fire, or I Wanna Hold Your Hand? Louie Louie. Who was the first U.S. president to come on television? John F. Kennedy, Dwight D. Eisenhower, or Franklin D. Roosevelt? Franklin D. Roosevelt. What was a popular soda flavor in the 1950s? Vanilla Coke, Orange Crush, or Cherry Coke? Cherry Coke. Question 70. What was D-Day's code name? Operation Overlord, Operation Barbarossa, or Operation Torch? Operation Overlord. What was the average price of a new house in the US in 1955? $15,000, $10,000, or $22,000? $10,000. What type of car was used in the Back to the Future movies? Ford Mustang, Chevrolet Camaro, or the DeLorean? DeLorean. What was the name of the first spacecraft to land on Mars in 1976? Voyager 2, Pioneer 10, or Viking 1? Viking 1. What color is traditional cheddar cheese? White, green, or orange? Orange. What 1970s board game was originally rejected because it was considered too complicated? Clue, The Game of Life, or Trivial Pursuit? Trivial Pursuit. What fashion trend started because people couldn't afford new clothes during the Great Depression? Ripped jeans, mini skirts, or tie-dye shirts? Ripped jeans. Which 1950s hotel in Las Vegas was designed to copy the space age aesthetic? The Sands, the Flamingo, or the Stardust? The Stardust. Which 1989 handheld gaming device made Tetris popular? The Atari Lynx, Game Boy, or Neo Geo Pocket? Game Boy. What artificial organ was successfully implanted in a human for the first time in 1982? Artificial kidney, artificial lung, or the artificial heart? Artificial heart. In what year did Britain experience the Winter of Discontent? 1963, 1981, or 1979? 1979. The only mammal capable of flying is the eagle, the parrot, or the bat? The bat. Which 1980s TV show featured a talking car called Kit? The A-Team, MacGyver, or Knight Rider? Knight Rider. A rare ocean event occurred in 1982-1983, which caused global weather disruptions. What was it? Polar vortex shift, Gulf Stream reversal, or Super El Nino? Super El Nino. Which unsolved mystery from the 1970s involved the plane hijacker who vanished without a trace? The Black Dahlia case, the Bermuda Triangle pilot, or the D.B. Cooper mystery? The D.B. Cooper mystery. Which country suffered one of history's deadliest cyclones in 1970, killing over 300,000 people? India, the Philippines, or Bangladesh? Bangladesh. Which microwavable snack of the 1980s became a school lunch favorite? Hot Pockets, Bagel Bites, or Lunchables? Lunchables. What famous phrase did Arnold Schwarzenegger first say in The Terminator in 1984? Get to the chopper, come with me if you want to live, or I'll be back. I'll be back. Which 1985 charity single featured over 40 artists and raised millions for famine relief? That's What Friends Are For, We Are the World, or Hands Across America. We Are the World. Which 1980s fast food item was introduced to attract customers during a chicken shortage? KFC popcorn chicken, the McRib, or Burger King chicken fries? The McRib. Question 90. Which American company released the first ever microwave oven for home use in 1967? General Electric, Whirlpool, or Amana? Amana. Which African country gained independence from Portugal in 1975? Zimbabwe, Angola, or Namibia? Angola. Which 1990s toy became a must-have Christmas gift and led to stampedes in stores? Power Rangers, Tickle Me Elmo, or Furby? Tickle Me Elmo. Which Cold War spy escaped from a U.S. prison by sawing through his cell bars in 1966? Rudolph Abel, Aldrich Ames, or George Blake? George Blake. Which 1970s skyscraper in New York has a design that makes it look like it's floating on stilts? The Chrysler Building, the Empire State Building, or Citicorp Center? Citicorp Center. Which sprinter won 4 gold medals at the 1936 Olympics? Jesse Owens, Emil Zatopek, or Carl Lewis? Jesse Owens. What famous book was printed in pocket-sized format for soldiers during World War II? The Grapes of Wrath, The Great Gatsby, or Brave New World? The Great Gatsby. Which brand made the denim jacket a must-have in the 1980s and 90s? Diesel, Guess, or Levi's? Levi's. What common medical test was originally developed to test for tuberculosis in cows? MRI, X-ray, or ultrasound? X-ray. Which famous actress made yoga popular in the 1980s? Raquel Welch, Cher, or Jane Fonda? Jane Fonda. Which children's TV show from the 1990s had a phone line for the kids to call in and talk to the hosts? Reading Rainbow, Nick Jr., or Sesame Street? Nick Jr. And our bonus question. What is the 1980s cartoon He-Man and the what? Let us know the answer in the comments, and of course, your quiz class award ranking. We hope you enjoyed this quiz. If you did, hit that like button and please subscribe, and we will see you in our next one. Bye-bye.